So what are we going with?
Rzning?
I like
This
that.
is a podcast.
I'm just gonna go anytime.
With Sims.
We're just two guys.
You want to hear?
a lot of shit going on.
Listen to it, see what comes out.
Yeah, MOBOs, live MOBOs.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it's not live, but it's grown, man. Like when you deep it from like, when did the MOBOs first come out? I remember there being a Jay-Z nomination. That's how long ago the MOBOs started, and that's So Solid were winning things. So we're talking 15,
You trying to say
nearly 20 years ago.
So Solid were winning things. You know, the man are still alive and they're still flourishing.
Yeah,
so like,
I hear that, but like, when was the last time?
they're not active.
They're not active at all, bro.
Yeah, okay,
they're not active at
fair.
all. Like, Ashley Walters is the only name you remember, and I even think people from like kids nowadays who maybe have watched Top Boy, or know who Ashley Walters is,
Yeah.
will not know who the hell Asher D is.
Yeah, true.
Well, couldn't recite you a bar. Do you know what I mean? So
True.
that's how long ago MOBOs is going. It's good to see, like, and also all of the nominations.
Yeah.
Well, all of the ones I've seen so far, other than the dancehall and the reggae stuff.
Yeah.
And the international stuff, all British acts that
Which
we
is
all
amazing.
know. It's not
Love
like
to
some
see
random
that. Love
act
to
coming
see
out of
that.
nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And when I say British, not to cast shame on that, to cast a shadow on them, but it's not like your Adele's, your Ed Sheeran's. It's
Yeah.
all R&B, hip hop. Oh,
Exactly.
I get
Grime,
MOBOs,
yeah.
music of black origin. So
Yeah,
it's shedding,
exactly.
it's shedding light, man. But it's a good
One way that I used to that was kind of disappointing when I first started actually watching and tuning into the MOBOs was the reaching that they were doing in terms of American artists who didn't even know anything about this award.
Yeah.
You know, a perfect example, like I mentioned when we were chatting earlier, is an American artist, big American artist who's been nominated for an award. They've won the award, and in their acceptance little video, they're in some dusty house clothes. They misname they use a totally different name to what's written on the piece of paper in front of them, thanking the award show. And I was just like, well, you know, it takes 2 seconds of effort to just remember MOBO. It's right in front of you, and you've been told before the camera was rolling.
man are accepting Mojo awards,
Exactly.
maybe awards, like what's
Momo awards.
Momo, innit?
So it just shows like if for them, obviously, if it's at the time as well, that's big American artists, I get it. They're receiving a lot of awards over there. It means very little to them. But for me, watching over here, this means the world. This means everything.
It really is.
And so it was disappointing. But now you're seeing like our artists, UK artists here, who are making impact, who we've seen the rise from the very bottom, and they've come up with MOBO as well. Look, they've always seen this as a platform and been
Exactly.
like, I'd love to be on that
Exactly.
platform. The majority of them, some of them don't care about it, but that's another story. But I'm just like, you know what? That's great, and we have enough going on the scene here where we're spoiled for choice.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? In some genres, like once upon a time, it was like, bruh, you've really only got 4 artists to choose from. So just nominate all them guys.
Terra Firma, Sway,
Yeah.
that era.
Yeah, Terra Firma, Sway, Jest,
Jesus,
them guys.
Big Brothers.
So get this right. This is the perfect kind of point about this. When you have people like JME, Jest, totally different genres, but when they are nominated for the same award and they are put in the same box, you've got to ask yourself, like, dude, what exactly is this? He's underground UK hip hop and he's a grime artist. So what's how?
It doesn't really make sense. But
Exactly.
boy, it's good to see. Didn't Young Fathers win one? Maybe.
I'm not sure MOBO, you know. Mercury Award. And
maybe
yeah,
maybe
not
I'm getting-
MOBO.
Nah, I'm getting them mixed up now. But yeah, it's a good look though.
It is a good look, man. It's refreshing. It's nice to see. Like, obviously, we only caught like 2 seconds of it just there. But from the way the performances as well, only performance we saw was Miss Banks. The production value of that performance was like,
It's on point, man.
This is not no one shot, one camera, quick thing, quick Miss Banks just perform real quick. No, this is like production value where it needs to be. People across the pond are watching it and they're being like, oh shit.
And
You
it's
know
on
what I mean?
YouTube as well, so it's like it's one of them ones where anyone can access it at any point. And obviously, it's on YouTube Live just now, but I don't know. Maybe it will go up on their, in the archive, so people to watch for years to come. So it's almost like a piece of history at that point. It's archived history.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, good to see. Good to see.
Yeah. Like a little mention of Ashley Walters as well earlier. Obviously, Top Boy has just started filming new series of Top Boy. I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah.
He just announced that. Well, I saw the announcement
yesterday.
today or yesterday.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday and I was just like, yeah, this is what we need. It was on,
next
I think
one.
it was on Kano's IG. And I was just like, this is precisely the time. Do it.
For that.
Yeah, man.
Still. But yeah.
So yeah, in terms of don't know what the hell I was about to say. Okay. I was gonna jump in with a little dilemma for you. Yes,
Okay.
that's exactly what it is.
Go for
And I saw this online and it instantly made me burst out laughing. There's not many things that make me hold my phone and actually do out loud ha 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 ha. But this made me chuckle.
Real life law.
Okay. So let me put it to you like this. You are over chilling at your girl's house. And she lives with her parents, right? Then out of nowhere, the dad nips into the room brazenly and says, yo, Aleem, come over here for a second and iron my trousers. Here's my trousers. Here are my slacks. I want you to iron them for me, please. What is your response? What are you doing? Obviously, you're in the man's house and he's not done it like in a disrespectful way. He's just been like, Aleem.
First of all, there's no
He has said
polite
please.
way of asking someone who doesn't live in your house
Yeah.
to iron your slacks. There is no polite.
Where does the problem lie, though? Is it that it's
The problem
slacks?
lies with the
Is it that
audacity.
he's the dad?
It's the audacity for me.
Okay.
Do you like of all the people that are in your house? Your daughter is right there. I wouldn't be here if your daughter wasn't there. Ask
Yeah.
her before you ask anyone else.
Okay.
You can't.
Okay.
You need. You can ask the cat before you ask me.
Right. Okay.
I was,
Okay.
bruv. I'll act like I didn't hear.
So
I'll
as
pick up my phone and be like, oh, swear. Okay, cool. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and then just walk outside like I'm on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
doing any of this.
So
Because the thing is, I know what he's trying to do.
yeah,
You're like you
it's a
can't be.
deep boyment. He's trying to
It
level
is.
you. He's trying to
It is not
shake you down
Not
to-
today. Not today.
to a level.
Not today. Do you know what it is? I would have to look at my missus and be like, nah, that can't run. I will show. And the thing is, I'm not disrespectful. When I come to other people's houses,
Yeah.
I'm respectful to the utmost.
Yeah.
I don't put. I'll take my shoes off if it's that kind of house.
Yeah.
I will clean up after myself as much as I can. I'll
Yeah.
put down coasters.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
not trying to leave a mark.
So
in
ain't
the
you
yard.
gonna iron no trousers?
Because I know why he's doing it. There is nowhere that man needs to be at a time where I'm chilling that he needs his trousers ironed so promptly that I have to be it. Like this
So
is not a state of emergency.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
He's done it as a way of being like, I'm the dominant one in this house. Okay, you go be dominant to your wife,
Yeah.
to your daughter, to
Yeah.
whatever other children are with.
Not
Like
me.
I said, the cat. I'm not here for you.
Yeah.
I will be
Okay.
polite. I will bring manners. I'll call
Yeah.
you Mister or Sir or whatever it is you would like me to call you. Iron your trousers. What's next? Iron my drawers. In prison, that's a big boyment, bro.
Okay. How about this then? What if he takes you to the side and he's like, let me have a little word with you. And then he basically, on first meeting, right? You're just chilling there and he says, let me have a little word with you. He takes you to the side and he's like, listen, I want to lay down some ground rules around here. First and foremost, what I say goes, it being my house. You look like a respectful young lad. So let's just have an understanding around here. So I want prior notification so I can be out of the yard if you and the daughter is going to do business. What's your view on that? Like, do you take offense and do you?
No, do you know what? I wouldn't take offense. You're talking to the wrong person here.
Okay.
Of the two members of the relationship.
Yeah, but he's
you're
brought
talking-
you. He's brought you because in his eyes, it's like
Then he's he's a terrible management.
Okay.
That's terrible.
Right.
Why are you asking me? You
Because
need
he
to
feels
ask-
you will be the initiator of the boom booms.
Well, then you need to pattern your own children. Like listen.
Yeah.
It's your daughter.
Okay.
I'm in your house that your daughter has invited me to. You need to be the one to tell your daughter. That's a conversation between you and your daughter.
Fair.
You need
Fair.
to take your daughter to the side and say, listen, if you're going to have a Aleem around,
Yeah.
I need prior notice.
Okay.
And that's a conversation between you and you don't come to me.
All right. Fair.
What's
fair,
this? What is this?
Another one. Just
Because
on the same in the same street.
Just because I'm the man in the relationship doesn't mean this is a patriarchy.
Okay.
You need to talk to your daughter. If you're afraid to talk to your daughter, you should be even more afraid to talk to me.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
Alright.
You can't be comfortable. You can't be uncomfortable talking to your own flesh and blood and be comfortable talking to me about something like this.
Okay.
Oh, and it's also your house. You're trying to lay down laws, but you're skirting around your own door. Come on, big man. Come on, big man.
So
I'm respectful, but don't take the piss.
our next one, you're thirsty middle of the night. You know there ain't no one around. Do you know what I mean? So you're in your boxers and you want to go downstairs to the kitchen and grab a cold beverage. You know there ain't no one around. So are you like, all right, cool, I'm going to go do that. Quick time, it ain't no problem. Or is it a case of, it's risky, obviously, not my place. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't, just the principle of boxer shorts.
It depends.
In the next person.
It kind of depends. There's a few factors that me personally would consider, because I've actually been in a similar situation to this. So, how well do I know the family? Okay. Or the parents, at least. Yeah. Like whoever's in the house or lives there, how well do I know them? Yeah. If it's my first time staying over, then yeah, I'll put on the tracksuit bottoms, I'll fling on the t-shirt, and I'll go downstairs. Yeah. That's a conscious effort. Mm-hmm. If it's a case of like I've been in the crib multiple times, I've showered there maybe, I've spent a couple days back to back there, maybe just chilling, then yeah, I might go downstairs in like my bottoms and maybe no top. It's not a big deal. Yeah. If it's a case where, let's say for instance, my missus has got like a younger daughter, I'm not just swanning around in my boxes. Yeah, of course. Do you know what I mean? There's considerations there. Yeah. But yeah, it's one of them ones, man. So in terms of if I'm comfortable there, and the family are comfortable with me as a person, like I said, I spend days there, I spend a couple nights there. Yeah, I'm familiar with all the family. Then yeah, calm. I'll go down at that particular moment. I'm treating it like my own house. I'll go, and especially if it's in the middle of the night and no one's awake. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
What was the film with old boy Guns and Butter, baby? Where he's downstairs frying up starkers. Oh. He's downstairs, like literally, stark naked, frying eggs.
Hold on. I'm thinking of Baby Boy with Tyrese.
Oh yeah, no, similar thing. Same way.
I'm butt naked.
But
that's a different dynamic, because it's your mum whose yard it is and her man. Yeah, exactly. So you're thinking to yourself, in that situation, what would you do? Me personally, I know, like, I'm thinking of my perspective. If I came into my mum's house and I was staying there, like say for Christmas or whatever, and there happened to be like a man, I know it's a boyfriend or whatever, and he's frying, and maybe he stays there more than me because obviously I don't live there. Yeah. Put on drawers, bruv.
Do you know what?
But then I already know there's no man in my mum's life that could bad me up anyway. So I'm telling you, put on drawers.
It's I think in terms of like, okay, an outsider comes in, a parent's new partner or whatever. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Where the whole man of the house, quote unquote thing, where you have existed in that space alone as a male, as the son. And then all of a sudden, there's no kind of conversation between you and the guy. If he pulls you to the side and he's just like, all right, look, that kind of like get along gang kind of thing of like, look, I know, as it's been you and your role as like, if you feel that it's your role to protect your mother or whatever, like me, if he pulls you to the side and says, I've got nothing but good intentions, I'm not some dude who's gonna come up in here and cause all kind of havoc. Then after that kind of discussion, I know, but certain man ain't got qualms and thingy like that. Certain man will just come up in there and do boxers on first day. I don't boxers frying eggs.
The same qualms he don't have. I don't have qualms to fist him up in my mum's house. True. I'll bust him up, and then when my mum comes in, what happened? I'll tell her straight.
The nigga was frying eggs.
I wait.
Naked.
It won't even be on a case. It won't even be a case like that. I'll just be like, he tried to violate, so I have to straighten him out. Because the thing is as well, my mum's house is my mum's house. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So if my mum doesn't fry eggs in her underwear,
then what makes you think you can? Yeah.
My mum owns the yard. You get me? Like she's not like renting it. You've come in and started patting in bills, or she's moved into you. It's not like that. Yeah. My mum doesn't answer to anybody.
Exactly.
So and you're just as second in command, you are. Sure, as far as I'm concerned, I don't care what your intentions are. I don't care what my mum thinks this relationship is going to be like. Yeah. You are part-time until you become permanent.
Exactly. And ain't nobody frying
in my eyes,
and eggs.
Those are my eggs. if you've cooked 2 eggs,
Yeah.
and one of them's for my mum,
Yeah.
that second one is for me. You better get a third one out of the fridge. My mum's got 2 sons. I am the wrong one.
Yeah,
You get me? So
true
it's one of them ones.
Or one of those ones where it's like, you know, some people take liberties.
Hey, that was my egg.
You've left something in
Nah,
the
it
fridge
wasn't while
that
I'm
is like
chewing.
yours, and you're looking forward to like, when I go around to the mum's, I'm gonna finish off that food I left over there, or like whatever it is, and it's gone. Then
You
it
know what
has
that
to be
is?
a throwdown.
That's
then
just
it has to be.
that's just living
some
in that.
blood has
That's
to be
just
drawn.
living in
Someone
a
has
house
to die.
with more than like 2 or 3 people, man. That can happen with the siblings and them thing there. Like
Oh,
when you
boy.
pull up and like somebody's had the last, pack of cookies,
Yeah.
and you're fuming because you're like, you come in and you're like, right, before anything happens, before I go like change into my house clothes or take a shower or whatever, I'm gonna need a quick.
Yeah.
And I like biscuits, innit? So if I come home
Yeah.
and like say like I got a brother or sister and they're just chopping
And
away
they've
my
been
biscuits,
pouched. Bruh.
like aimlessly.
Do you know what? Those
These are nice, you know. What up?
Those are the
what
waviest.
what was that for?
Between me and my siblings, those were the waviest fights. Like sibling fights where it's over a stack.
What started this?
Do you know what I mean?
Snacks.
Especially like we used to like there were certain sweets, right? That like I made it clear that this is my thing, this is my favorite, so I am going to hide this around the house. And I know where my stash place is at. My sister discovered my stash places. Boy, it was a royal rumble up in that house. It was a real and we used to watch, more time we used to watch wrestling for real. Elbow drop off the ropes. All of that was coming out, bro.
No, this
People's
one-
elbow. You know what I mean? Like, all of that was coming out. And I was just like, do you know what? Yeah, we should probably have laid off the wrestling for real because there were some real injuries in that household. You know, some real like, how did this happen? And it's like, oh yeah, he jumped off the sofa.
See the
suplex.
See the thing growing up, right? So I've got quite a few siblings, but I grew up with my mum, so there was just me and my brother. Now my brother's 10 and a half years younger than me.
Okay.
So he weren't taking my snacks unless someone gave it to him. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, unless my mum said... So I remember this one. So there was a box of Maryland chocolate chip biscuits.
Oh, dope.
Do you know what I mean?
Top tier snack, top tier.
They
snack.
used to be top tier. I don't know what they've done now, but they just
I ain't
taste
had
like
them lately.
dust. They are the dustiest biscuit. I'm upset by it. But anyway, so I remember one time they must have been in the cupboard, and I remember buying them, and I've come home and my brother's eating the biscuits.
Yeah.
So I'm like, who said you could have those? Those are mine. And he's like, oh, mum said I could have them. But the way he did it was so smug, almost as if like he was sitting eating them, knowing I was gonna confront him about it, and he had that in the barrel, ready to say, mum said I could have it.
That is the ultimate defense
So
as a
I've
kid.
gone to, so in my head, I'm
That's
like, I'm weighing it up, like
Yeah.
I'm doing Rain Man, and all the calculations are going in my head. I said, right, if I take these biscuits, he's gonna cry and make noise, and then mum's gonna come downstairs and see me as the aggressor, the older brother just trying to enforce his will.
Yeah.
If I go to my mum, it's going to be a wahala because she's going to be like, they're just biscuits. Da, da, da. Do you know what I mean? She's going to trivialize it.
Yeah.
So on one hand, it's a big problem. On the other hand, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Where do I lie? So you know them ones where I was just like,
Life qualms, bro.
I just had to pull up on my brother and just be like, yo, give me those biscuits. And he said, but mum said I can have them.
And
I said so. So I just took them and I ate them. And then...
what, did you violent eat them in front of him?
No, I just
chomped them one by one,
took them and
looking him straight in the eye.
I wasn't gonna
My
do,
town.
I wasn't gonna do all
My
of that.
town.
I wasn't gonna. No, do you know what I think I did? I think I sent him to do something for me.
Oh, okay.
And when he came back down, they were finished. But then my mum would come down before that.
Yeah.
And he came down and said, "Oh, Aleem ate my biscuits." And before my mum even had anything to say, I said, "Did you buy them?" Because I knew what I was doing. I was like, "Did you buy any biscuits to put in it?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "No." Well, then he's like, "Yeah, but mum said I could have them." I said, "Yeah, but mum didn't buy them."
Yeah. Yeah.
And my mum was like, but my mum tried to play defense. She had to be like, "I told you you're not supposed to eat all of them anyway." If I hadn't come home, she would have let me eat all of them. See what I'm saying?
Imagine.
Man, living with ops, bro.
Twisted.
Nah, but do you know what it is? Because my brother was so much younger than me, we never really clashed on anything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To this day, I've never had a fallout with my brother.
Okay.
It's like, it's almost impossible. There's no reason for me to fall out with him.
Yeah.
So it's just one of them situations where you're just like, siblings get into arguments and all the rest of it. I can't think
Yeah.
of one thing that I'd get into argument with Jamel for. Like, not one.
Yeah.
Unless he did something out of order and I had to be the one to pull him up on it.
Oh,
But,
okay.
yeah. But
Unless you set him straight kind of thing.
Like I said, man, my mum had 2 sons. I'm the wrong one. Like, he,
The
don't do
wrong
no-
button to
he
push.
doesn't do nothing wrong. Like,
Yeah.
if he's done something, it's because he can't be bothered and my mum's had to go at him. Like, you know, just normal stuff.
Yeah.
But, like,
Yeah.
he doesn't do anything wrong. Me on the other hand, oh jeez. Well, growing up, man, my mum always used to say, "I'm glad I had you first when I had energy."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she thinks I would have finished her off if she was like,
Jeez.
yeah, exactly.
Handful. Mad.
But yeah, it's all mad. But it's quite funny because, like, even though I used to get in trouble, my mum was always like, my mum found a way of teaching me what I did wrong
Yeah.
without, but obviously she punished me. But you know how some parents can punish you and like you're getting beaten or you're getting punished or you're getting disciplined and you haven't learned the lesson.
Yeah.
You've not understood fully or comprehended why you're getting in trouble. So you're just here getting beat up for doing something that you didn't think was wrong. Do you know what I mean? And I'm lucky, like, there was a period of time where I thought my mum was like that, but it was just, you know, I was moving mad and my mum just lost. Like, she didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So that's when you get the slipper thrown or like,
You know what? Like, that's so similar.
And in black and Asian households,
Bruh.
anything is a
Utensils.
weapon. Anything is a weapon. Anything, bruv. They start moving like John Wick.
As soon as they see red and you are in danger,
Curtains.
anything can instantly, just like in a video game where things are floating midair with like
Yeah.
a score on top of them.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, okay, what can really get this message?
You have
across
collected
the best?
spatula.
Do you know what I mean?
Going
It's
to the
like-
inventory, it's just a
Right.
kitchen drawer. Like, yeah.
But you know what? It's funny you say that because reflecting back on my childhood, them beatings there, more time they didn't teach me the difference between right and wrong. They taught me how not to get caught. Do you know what I mean? They taught me, because I'll tell you what, the physical
Facts.
pain of a
Facts.
slipper
Yeah.
or anything like that, like
It fades.
the first place my mind went to was like, okay, I'm trying to justify what I did. I don't think what I did was that bad, but in all truth of the matter, like the bad that has come out of this is I've got this little beat down. How can I avoid getting the beat down? Okay, next time you do that, make sure A, B, C. This is where I went wrong. I'm thinking about that. I'm not thinking, just don't do that again. I'm thinking, how can I not
I
get
think
caught?
that's one of the things. Like, I remember, obviously, I don't know if it's very recently, but I seen an article recently. Scotland is the first country, I think, in the world to ban physical punishment of children. Like,
Well
hitting
done to
children.
them. I hope they do well with that. But I'll tell you what, when I have kids inside this household, it is Africa. You know what I mean?
That's what I
It is
said.
Africa.
I said that. I said that. I
here.
threw it in the group and I said, this
Outside is Scotland. As soon as you walk through that door, is
the
Africa.
heat in his cranked up
TIA
to 35
is
degrees
Africa.
is home.
Yo, on them popping and all of these things as well. Like this is bad because I'm saying like, okay, I didn't deserve a lot of the beatings that I got. They set me straight at the time. But same way, collecting points off utensils, I am going to be doing that because for the most part, I feel that that's what I needed because I was a mischievous child. That is what I needed. Words didn't
But here's the thing.
do nothing.
Here's the thing, though, and you and I are very intelligent, very comprehensive people, right? So, had our parents spoken to us,
Yeah.
I personally think we would have learnt the lesson. Now, obviously, our parents' generation are one of two things: from back home,
Yeah.
or raised by people directly from back home.
Yeah.
So they were raised
inside the household. It was as good as back home.
We are
That
not,
way you
like,
are.
obviously you were born in Zim, and you came over early. Me, I was born in the UK. I was born in London. So like I'm born and raised in London. So I'm not. I saw my grandma the way she behaved.
Yeah.
And then I saw but if it watered down. But what I found was there was this kind of like, as a West Indian parent, it was kind of like you're right as a parent to be able to beat your children.
Yeah.
If they do something wrong, obviously, not just abuse them.
Yeah,
But
not
like beat them if they do something wrong. Like that's the go-to. And I often notice, and this is not just talking about my upbringing, but I often notice when people, and I've seen it in public, parents that have gotten to the stage of like slapping their child or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of the time you see it's because the parents lost their patience.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think for myself, you have to understand, children are not adults. They are people, but they're not adults. You wouldn't put your hand on an adult like no. If you put your hand on an adult because you lost patience with them, you'd be getting in trouble, like big trouble.
Yeah.
So why should it be any different for children? If anything,
True.
I'm an advocate of beating grown people when they want to beat ears hard. Beating children, beating a child for being a child, or testing the boundaries. How can you be mad at that?
Yeah.
I want my child to test the boundaries, but also I'm not gonna punish them for doing something wrong.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that I would explain to them, this is where you went wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
If you want to achieve X, Y, and Z. For instance, imagine like just throwing a hypothetical out there. Let's say, for instance, it's nearly dinner time and your parents say, and you ask for like, I don't know, a snack like a chocolate out of the cupboard.
Yeah.
And you say, mum, dad, or whatever, can I have a chocolate?
Yeah.
And your parents' initial reaction, first of all, is, no, dinner's soon. But you're hungry now. So you're thinking to yourself, all right, mum's going to go upstairs. And when she goes upstairs, I'm going to find a way to sneakily get that chocolate and eat it. Yeah. You're not even thinking about the fact that your mum's going to see the chocolate's gone.
Yeah.
Or your mum's going to see the wrapper. Or your mum's going to see the chocolate on your face and know that you've violated her rules.
Yeah.
But I think parents will say, no, dinner's almost ready. To a child that's hungry, doesn't mean anything. I want that chocolate right now. I don't want dinner in an hour. I want chocolate right now. So if you just said, you can't have that chocolate because A, B, C, and D, then at least you've reasoned with you've reasoned with the child as a person, as a comprehensive person, and allowed them to understand why it is they can't have it.
Yeah.
Now, further, if the child has still said, "No, do you know what? I'm gonna have that chocolate, regardless of the reasoning," then even then, I wouldn't say resort to beating, but I'd say, "All right, fine. You won't see chocolate for the rest of the month." Because it's not like you didn't understand.
Yeah.
It's not like you went out of your way to get something because you were unaware of the consequences. You knew why you couldn't have it. You knew what you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You were well aware of why you couldn't have it.
Yeah.
You've chosen to violate.
Yeah.
Now, for me, that's a good lesson to learn moving into adolescence. You educate your children on why they shouldn't be in certain places, why they shouldn't hang around with certain people, why they shouldn't engage in certain activity. Why? Because it can land you in big legal trouble.
Yeah.
If your child gets caught doing them things or whatever, you can't just beat them and it's going to be okay. They're going to prison or they're going to have a criminal record.
Yeah.
It's going to screw up their life. So they need to understand that, like, why it is they shouldn't be doing what you're telling them they can't do.
Yeah.
If they think, all I'm going to get, like you said, if I can just do what I want to do, keep up with the badness but not get caught, that's the way forward. No.
Yeah.
That's a criminal mindset already.
Yeah.
Because now you're thinking, once you figure out a way or a formula of how to get away with badness,
then
you're
going to run.
You're just going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it.
And you made a key point there that it's a very last resort. Like, even when I was growing up as well, like, beatdowns were not handed out willy-nilly. It was after all that you chastise, you set them right, you tell them what the standard is that we expect of you.
Boundaries.
And where the boundaries are, first and foremost. And you explain why this is a bad thing. All of those stages do run. But ultimately, if someone goes past all that, everything that you've told them, and violates, then that's where it ends up. And that's a very good point, actually, because in terms of repercussions and every action, there will be something that will come as a result of that, good or bad. And letting a kid understand that, and then when they get into being an adult, there might not be a parent there standing over their shoulder and watching them, but there are repercussions in terms of breaking the rules, bending the rules. Rules are there for a reason. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's the most important point, that getting the occasional little beat, instilled and reminded me that, look, rules are there for a reason. It's for my own safety more time. It's for my own, for me more time. Do you know what I mean? But it's crazy because I feel personally that, a lot of people always raise the point and they say that, okay, if you are someone who disciplines your kids as they're growing up physically in this way, they're just going to grow up to resent you. And then I look at my story and I'm like, all right, well, I don't resent my parents. In fact, I thank them for that, because there was times where I pushed it. You know what I mean? I pushed it far, and it was like, I've not grown up to resent them. I've grown up to thank them for that level of discipline.
I think the resentment maybe comes from the imbalance of punishment over reward.
Yeah.
So if your parents are constantly on your case, constantly
not
punishing you
you
for
for
everything,
right.
but they never address when you've done something good, then of course you're going to resent them.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? Like that just goes with anything. If you have a staff, or you have a team that you're playing with or working with, like if you never address the good things they do, you never celebrate the wins or the positives, then but you only highlight the negatives.
Yeah,
of course they're gonna hate you.
Of course,
anybody's gonna do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, teaching kids or helping them to understand cause and consequence. Like if you do A, B, and C, X, Y, and Z will happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's not about getting caught. It's about the ramifications of your actions. And here's the thing. I don't like using the word rule because it sounds like a dictatorship. Guidelines.
Yeah.
You need to set guidelines, and not even so much boundaries, just guidelines, so that they can understand and be aware. And guidelines are there to navigate you on a path.
Yeah.
They're not there to stop you from doing certain things. They're there to help you keep focus.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think sometimes parents that would maybe beat their child and have gotten to a stage of like, and I get it, being an adult, being a parent is stressful. You come home from a long day's work. Like my mum was a full-on working parent. She had a 9 to 5, commuting around London. She was leaving the house at like 7.
Yeah.
Dropping me off at school. She wasn't getting back from work until like 6, half 6. Then she's got to make dinner. She's got to make sure that I've done my homework. And if I do even one thing maybe that's going to rile her up the wrong way, she's, in her mind, she's about to lose it. And my mum worked in a very high-end stressful job at the time.
Yeah.
So she's going to lose it. So like a lot of the time, like and I have to take my hat off to my mum. My mum wasn't aggy like that. There were certain occasions where she was, and you know, I probably deserved it. But like for the most part, when I'm looking at the stresses of just being an adult without a child, fam, to this day, I'm so grateful.
Nobody told me about all these bills.
I lie.
Nobody told me.
And to this day, I'm still grateful. Like sometimes I'll get home from like a long day, and I'm like, I'm glad I don't even have a flipping dog to walk. Like some of my friends have got a dog and they're coming back from the club or whatever, and it's, no, I've got to walk the dog. I'm like, bro, go to bed.
5 a.m.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So it's one of them ones, man. So I feel like setting guidelines for kids is a structured, you know, is a very effective way of structuring their upbringing.
Yeah.
And if they veer off the guideline, or they veer outside of it, or they try to violate like the borders, the boundaries, as it were, you just have to let them know, look, if you do this, then this is going to happen, and it's going to take you away from what it is you want.
Exactly.
And I think goal setting is something that you can use to help achieve that.
Yeah.
When I saw the whole Scotland bans beating children, there was two things in my head. So I was like, I can guess Scotland would, because the population of African and the Black and Asian community and parents are low compared to like England, where you've got Manchester, London.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, of course.
I swear, like,
majority of people are gonna be like, yeah, that's a great idea, because they're not the ones flinging slippers.
Yeah,
so it's calm for them.
True. It's one of those ones where it's like, I get it. You know, that's the public. You know, each household has their own set of rules ultimately. So no matter what you put out there as a, you know, blanket statement, like, yeah, this is banned, whatever. But ultimately, like within these different communities, are we really going to have an African parent stopping the hold the phone, Mavis? It's banned, by the way, just so really and truly. No. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, man. Just thinking about I will beat my child if I want,
bruh. You know what I mean? Place where slippers are flying, then slipper life have to run.
So, yeah, exactly. But you know what it is as well? I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, so,
oh shit, sorry, this just popped in my mind. Paul Chowdhury does a sick sketch about Asian family mom drawing for the slipper.
Oh really?
He's honestly like, I'll need to find it and play it or something. I'm not going to try and mimic it, because that will get me schmansled.
So
We'll leave that right out.
Yeah. Try and find it. Yeah, stick it. Yeah. But it's one of the ones where I was like, okay, beating your child for being a child or not understanding or not being disciplined enough to follow your guidelines or rules or whatever, that I don't agree with. But if police turn up on my doorstep and say, we have your son, he was caught in the act of robbing an old woman.
Yeah.
I am busting his head.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to. At that point, I'm allowed to.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not the type of parent to be raised. So you've been keeping up with badness with these other youths.
Yeah.
And they've influenced you or they peer pressured you to do an absolute madness.
Yeah.
And now police are involved.
Yeah.
At that point, or if imagine I catch him doing it. Do you know what I mean? I will bust his head.
Yeah.
Them ones there. I didn't raise you to be a bully. You want to see what bully or do you want to see what assault looks like?
Yeah.
Come.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you will learn this evening what that means.
Yeah,
what it's like to be on the receiving end.
Yeah.
That is probably the extreme of the scenario where I would actually put hands on my child to that extent.
Yeah.
And that's not even out of like, I would be angry, but I wouldn't be doing it out of anger. I'd be doing it to teach you a lesson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we said in the last week, getting punched in the face is a very good lesson to learn.
Early on.
It regulates you. You know what I mean? It gives you
recalibrates the meters.
Exactly.
So
it gives you a sense.
You won't find yourself in the same place again.
You can humble somebody real quick
when the thermometer has been set right.
Yeah, the spirit level is moving kind of higgy. Let me just realign that for you, young'un. You know what I mean? So them ones there. So that's kind of like the only situation I would do. But short of that, like even a case where if I found my drugs in my child's room.
Ooh,
I'm not
drugs in child's room is
the thing is
tough one for me.
It's tough. It's tough. But I don't know if I can put my hands on my child because they're already dealing with a problem.
Well, they got two now. Shit. In fact, they've got a bigger problem.
One plus one.
What kind of drugs are we talking?
Let's say weed. I'm not even there.
Okay, because do you know this?
Right. So for instance, if my son is smoking a little weed, I'm gonna ask him questions. Or my daughter, for instance, I'm gonna ask them questions. Where did you get it? It's gonna be my first priority because I want to know. I don't need you to be. If you're gonna do it, I can't stop you. You're of age. Say you're 16, 17. You're of age to be doing it outside the house if you want to do it. I can ban it in the yard.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't smoke. I can't imagine myself being with somebody that does smoke. So the house is gonna be non-smoking house anyway. So if you're gonna be doing it, you're gonna be doing it off premises regardless.
Yeah.
I can't watch you there. So I can't get onto you and don't smoke because I can't stop you. And the truth of the matter is, I can say what I want. It's probably going to make them do it more if I try and stop them to doing it. Do you know them words there?
Do you know what?
So my first question is, where did you get it from? Is it safe? Because if you start telling me some higgy haga name of some dealer from some anywhere, I'm going to be like, okay, hold on. First of all, don't spend your money or don't spend my money that I'm giving you on this dead dusty weed. I know a man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's get it from somewhere that I can validate from. You get me?
But what if you connect supplies with something that spins them off the radar? What if you connect
if that happens, I know who to go to. I know who to spin the coupon. I know who I can pull up on and be like, big man, what did you give me and my son? Because
we've been right for a week, bro. We're like for real. Imagine you connect supplies with the leng diddy dang peng peng peng. And he's like, the nigga's moonwalking into the crib with his backpack on his front. That was, in theory, that's a great shout, but bro,
but the thing
you
is,
need to police that as well. Like, yo, give this kid some flipping, like, you know what I mean? Some watered down, like, byproducts of
basic shit. No, but that's the thing. At least I'm aware and I can be involved in where it comes from. Because the last thing I want is for somebody to say, your son's in hospital or your daughter's in hospital because they had found drugs in their system. And I'm like, where did you get this from? And they're like, I don't really know him. And then you feel and they've got a burner. So if I get it from you, I know where I'm going to get it from. Yeah. I know that I've probably known this person for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm calling it and I'm like, okay, you know I don't do the thing, but give me the good stuff. Don't buoy me up. Because if I find it, because if it goes wrong, I know who to go to.
Yeah.
I know who to trace it to.
You know
I'm not waiting for police to deal with it. I'll deal with the matter myself because this is my family.
Yeah. Just a couple months ago in lockdown in Newcastle, like, I don't know how many students it was who died from a dodgy batch of whatever drug.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
What kind of drugs are you talking? Like party drugs or?
Yeah, it was party drugs. It
Could
wasn't
never be weed, but you ain't heard.
Yeah, it
You
wasn't
ain't heard
weed.
anyone doing a madness of weed ever in your life.
unless they went on a giggling spree for a month.
Bro, let him live his life.
That's not.
Let them live
that's
their
not
best
dying.
life. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I
Dying of
remember when I
laughter.
saw that story, I was just like,
That's
okay,
wild, man.
there's a few things mixed in here in terms of the places that students usually go recreationally, where they go and mix, and the parties and events where they go and mix, where to a certain extent that stuff is kind of, you've got door staff, you've got all that kind of thing. So in that environment as well, they do as best they can to make sure that there's not open distribution of it. But now it almost feels like in the lead up to that situation there, that's when all the parties were happening in dodgy like digs. Not even like
underground
someone's
parties.
bona fide gaff, like they were renting Airbnbs. And then it started genuinely as the student promoters throwing parties, but then it ended up just being like dealers opening Airbnb bandos to distribute their product. Okay. And then that was the situation that led to like 4 people one weekend, bro, 4 students. And then the following weekend was another number as well. Jesus. I was just like, fuck, a part of me almost feels like at that point, had it not come to that, and someone has purely done this gathering so that they can put this poison out, versus imagine if these people had been in a safe space like a club or something where that kind of stuff is going on. But it's restricted. But they're trained professionals, so if someone has a fit on the floor in that place, there's
always a first aider.
Exactly.
A couple of them.
They are seen to, number one, and if it's an ambulance coming in, whatever, in a flipping bando in the middle of wherever, people will camera phone you and watch you wriggle. And no one's calling anyone because they don't want to get caught that they were there.
Exactly.
The supplier doesn't want to get caught.
They're gonna dash because they don't want to get caught. Because if you phone somebody and say, I need an ambulance, somebody's ODing, the police are turning up as well.
Yeah,
it's not just ambulance, the police are turning up as well. Yeah. So it's like one of them, it's all mad. Like,
segue away from that one because that was a bit heavy.
It's all good. Okay. What's going on, people? You're now listening to the Rzning and Szning podcast with myself, Ellington,
and me, King Sims.
Make sure you check out new episodes every Friday on Spotify
and weekly on YouTube.
You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Rzning and Szning podcast.